Good evening, everyone. So my topic of dissertation is Algorithmic Power and Human Autonomy, a Zuboffian rereading of 1984 and Brave New World. My personal and academic information, chapterization. First is introduction chapter, then literature review, and the third chapter, fear, surveillance, and architecture of behavioral control in 1984, and fourth chapter is about pleasure, conditioning, and instrumentarian power in Brave New World, and then chapter 5 regarding conclusion. So basically, in chapter first, introduction. So the rationale of the research is digital technologies generate behavior data and reshape social interaction and decision making. So I have taken the theory of Shoshana Zuboff, Harvardian professor, who wrote this book, The Age of Surveillance Capitalism. So I have taken this theory, surveillance capitalism, like how our human experience become behavioral data used to predict behavior for modification, like companies and all this through algorithms, and our data is being extracted, harvested, then examined, analyzed, and it is used in a specific way that it can profit to direct them, and by doing that we are ultimately losing our autonomy. This how I am using this theory. Then instrumentarian power, it is digital system monitor and shape behavior data through extraction and predictive and analytics, and algorithmic governance, behavior regulated through data driven system and automated decision making. I have used these two texts, 1984. In that, we find control or surveillance is basically through the fear, and in Brave New World, it control comes from the pleasure, conditioning, and engineered conformity. So. Generally limited resource connect this dystopian literature with this contemporary algorithmic surveillance capitalism. I have used textual analysis and Zuboffian concept of instrumentarian power. My study hypothesized that the fear-based surveillance in 1984 and the pleasure-based conditioning in Brave New World prefigure key features of the algorithmic power that later described by Shoshana Zuboff. So while both novels portrayed pre-digital system of control, whereas Zuboffian rereading reveals that how modern algorithmic power constitute a third way of synthesis of punitive and hedonic, means which control pleasure based also, and kind of control, strict control also, that progressively erodes the foundation of meaningful human autonomy. So research question basically is how this both novel have distinct regimes of behavioral control, and how through the lens of Shoshana Zuboff, instrumentarian or algorithmic power provide a productive theoretical lens to reinterpret or understand this dystopian literate mechanism. Then to what extent can contemporary algorithmic power be understood as a third way, this algorithmic power that synthesize this punitive and hedonic logics of governance, and what are the implications of emergent third way of technological governance for the conditioning of meaningful human autonomy in technological mediated society. So research objective is to analyze this both novel, how they are differentiated modes of behavioral governance, then applying Shoshana Zuboff's lens, then demonstrate contemporary algorithmic power, and evaluate how this configuration of powers contribute to the progressive erosion of human meaningful human autonomy. So in literature review, basically, as if we see the surveillance and digital monitoring, like David Leon, surveillance normalized in this digital infrastructure concept of social sorting. Then Mark Andrzejewicz, participatory surveillance, where users voluntarily generate data through digital activity. Then Kering Young's argument, then Shoshana Zuboff's also essay that human experience become behavioral data for them. So they used to predict and behavioral modification. Uh, Critical lens includes the historical roots of surveillance, then concept of data colonialism and predictive systems and ethical concerns. Then key idea is here now how digital power increasingly operates through data abstraction, predictive and behavioral steering rather than direct coercion. So digital autonomy and cognition. So as per Nicholas Carr, that digital environments reshape cognition and weaken our sustain attention. Technological system creates emotional dependency and mediated interaction. Then in 1984, surveillance was fear-based governance, and Brave New World, pleasure conditioning and effective control were there. So in modern time, this combines monitoring, behavioral nudging, predictive, analytical, and attention control, which create hybrid environments of governance. So basically, research gap was these two scholarship treats these two novel separate models of control, fear and pleasure, and this convergence in contemporary algorithmic governance remains unexplored. And Zuboff's instrumentarian power is rarely applied to comparative analysis of this dystopian literature. And this third way offers Zuboffian rereading of Orwell and Huxley's, arguing that modern algorithmic power forms this hybrid third way, which combines surveillance as well as behavioral conditioning. So in chapter 3, basically, it's fear, surveillance, and architecture of behavioral control. So like this quote, nothing was your own except few cubic centimeters inside your skull. Winston's this kind of monologue, so it suggests how much autonomy you have left. So here Orwell's Dystopian illustrate regimes where surveillance, fear and disciplinary visibility regulate behavior. And through Shoshana Zuboff's lens, this system anticipates the instrumentarian power, like how in that, though it was pre-digital kind of novel, but how through at that time also the newspeak and telescreen, this all were things were used to collect the behavioral data. So collect the data to control. And then internalization of fear, we find like 2 minutes hat in room 101. So this fear-based surveillance transform individual into self-regulating subject, which eliminate behavioral unpredictability. So how cognitive control were there, like through newspeak and double think. Then this historical revision and memory erasure also we see. Then social stabilization, we find how through this emotional rituals and stratify governance maintain conformity. And this functions as a pre-digital prototype of behavioral governance, where fear-based surveillance become the first axis of control. So in chapter 4, basically pleasure conditioning and instrumentarian power we find. So here the quote, we also predestine and condition. We decant our babies as a socialized human being. So the human beings were made in a laboratory itself, and they were biological engineered, like this. They were even controlled and while they were and controlled through when they were in a sleep. So pleasure based conditioning were there. So cognitive programming, like hypnopedia, sleep teaching, where social values and consumer ideology were implanted. So it anticipates Zuboff's instrumentarian power, like where behavior is shaped through environmental design rather than coercion. So pleasure-based governance and behavioral alignment. Then effective governance. So SOMA was used for the stability in state. And how happiness replaces the reflection, like ethical reflection is required. And if tragedy is not there, then how one would have able to see through the ethical lens. Then behavioral alignment. And Brave New World anticipate instrumentarian power, where behavior is shaped through environmental tuning and hedonic modulation, like through pleasure based, basically. So in chapter 5, algorithmic power and human autonomy, the study demonstrated that dystopian literature provide a powerful framework for understanding how technological system regulate human behavior. So Orwellian model, it was surveillance, Huxleyan's model, conditioning, and Zuboffian's lens gives insights of digital platform monitoring, predict, and shape our behavior. So this altogether we find it is kind of third way of surveillance in algorithmic time. This how this hybrid system reshape the condition of human autonomy as a digital infrastructure increasingly monitor, predict, and influence human behavior. So these are the bibliography I have used for my learning outcome. And
okay, fine.
you.
So you have used these ideas of Shoshana Zuboff and turned it into Zuboffian rereading of 1984 in Brave New World.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is your main argument that you want to conclude? Yeah.
Like in Orwell's novel, we find fear-based control, whereas in Huxley's novel, we find pleasure-based control. So, but in this algorithmic time, we find both, like people are willingly the erosion of autonomy is being done in this algorithmic time. So this how.
But when you use the word Zuboffian, what actually does it mean?
So the main core argument of Zuboffian reading was that she has given the term this surveillance capitalism, that how our data is being collected and governed. If we see the governance in both the novel, I have particularly see the controlling part of both the novel, like how people were in control. So control system of Orwell is different, this Huxley's is different, and today's time is kind of different. So today's time is a kind of a third way of control in through algorithmic power.
So this what she argues, this it goes beyond even pleasure control or this peer control also. So here the policies are made in such a manner by these companies and the way they use those policies or gaps in the policies and turn that into their revenue machine, capitalist machine, whereas the people are not aware about it.
Yes.
And they are sold. They are unaware and they are
autonomy
sold.
Is being
eroded at this. So it is a step further, going beyond even 1984 or this also, it goes beyond that in the control of the people.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all other things you take care of, which was suggested to other people also.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so